Ciso. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social Season 5 episode we don't know because we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, Ben's gone so long he doesn't know what's
we
happening.
don't do that anymore. Yeah, we don't do that around here. We just beat Bournemouth. This is probably the first time we're doing a match review so close after the full-time whistle. Is what, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. We haven't even heard what Hürzeler said. It's probably the first time we've done this, man, since that COVID game against Crystal Palace at the Amex where Benteke scored in like the 98th minute. I feel like we haven't done one since then. But happier
Thankfully.
memories now,
probably
man.
for good reason.
That win feels like such an important win, really, against Bournemouth, who have been unbelievable this season.
Oh, massively. I was so nervous. That final five was horrible viewing. But
yeah, my arse was making a lot of noises, but I don't know if that was dinner or just because of the football.
probably a combination of both.
Really.
Both.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to mute it now. Yeah. Actually, my arse is still going.
God, there we go. It was a huge win. I thought there were parts where we looked a little bit shaky. I thought Bournemouth, credit to them, we talked about how good they are, and I think they showed that in most parts of the game. They're a very, very good side. But yeah, we came out on top. We did what we needed to do. We made some good substitutions. Hürzeler made some good subs. Obviously, Danny Welbeck being a massive one, coming off the bench and getting them the most vital goals. So yeah, no, it was a very well-rounded, gritty performance from the boys. I think we got there in the end. We did what we needed to do, and we got there in the end. We held out. There was no stupid stuff, nothing silly, where we've done in the past where we've let 2-0 lead slip, even at one goal advantages.
The amount of points we've shipped this season.
Exactly. So no, very, very good, Ben. I'm very happy, and yeah, up the fucking Albion.
Up the fucking Albion, indeed. It seems like we're a little bit of a bogey side for Bournemouth because, we beat them 4 times in a row now, I think, at the Amex. Beat them away this season as well. It's done the double over Bournemouth. Let's just call them rivals now because it feels good. We've beaten our South Coast rivals, even though there's absolutely no rivalry there. And yeah, I don't know.
South Coast, South Coast bragging rights.
Yeah, exactly. We literally own the South Coast. I mean, Dom completely took Southampton apart a couple of days ago.
Where's Pompey? Come up from the Championship, but you'll get it as well, mate. How about that?
Yeah, they'll be going down to League One at this rate, I think, from what I've seen in the Championship. But yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, at the beginning, I thought we started off pretty shaky. I sent that text message into our group chat when it looked like Lamptey was about to bring down that Kirkes guy, and they got down that left-hand side a couple of times in a few minutes, and I was like, oh God, this is going to be a bit of a squeaky bum time one. Didn't really look too good, but after that we came in it. I thought a massive player that did help us was Diego Gomez. I thought he was fucking phenomenal. As Adam said on Seagulls Social, he was absolutely mustard. Some of the passing was incredible. He threaded one through the defenders to Mitoma, and I thought was a beautiful pass that I haven't really seen too much. Every time he got the ball, Maz, he was just playing it direct. It was so direct, and as a fan, that's what the kind of midfielder you want, isn't it? You want someone that's just giving the ball forward straight away. And when you've got rapid wingers like Mitoma and Minter, who could then break that quickly, it worked time and time again. And yeah, how good was Diego Gomez today?
Oh, he was fantastic. You can tell the guy has trained with Lionel Messi, mate. He has been the torch.
He taught Messi everything he knows, mate.
Exactly. The torch has been passed on. Messi literally, Space Jam. Space Jam. When he gets Space Jammed, it's actually the opposite. He's actually given his powers to Diego Gomez. So now he's turned into Lionel Messi. A part of him lives on. It's like Harry Potter. Part of him lives within him.
Messi never played in the Prem, but we're seeing it through Diego Gomez now.
Exactly. No, but all joking aside, no, Ben, you're right. He did everything right. He added a different dynamism. Is that even a word? I don't know. I can't really speak.
Dynamic, I think you can just say.
Yeah, a different dynamic to the midfield. Obviously, in comparison to what we had in the game before, we had Hinchelwood and Belaber in that centre midfield who worked brilliantly, by the way. And I know Hinchelwood got a rest because he's just come back with injury and he had 2 games back-to-back quite quickly, and he played big parts of that. So I completely understood why he was on the bench. But yeah, Diego Gomez came in and I thought he was fantastic. Like you said, Benny, some of the passes he was threading through, some of his touches, even there was one moment where he was getting pressed by 2 players, and he just took one touch and took 2 players out the game, so and just started going forward. So yeah, he adds something different to that midfield. I really like the way he's looking. I think he's growing. I think Hürzeler, we spoke about it in one of the podcasts. Hürzeler made comments about Diego Gomez, saying about how much he's adapting and how much he's growing with the team, and he's basically going to be ready for a first team start soon. And there you go. Tonight was the day that he gave it to him. So he's obviously been very impressed with him in training. Sees all the great signs from him. So yeah. He fully well deserved. He was brilliant. I thought he got a little bit leggy towards the end, but again, the guy hasn't hasn't started a game for a long time. Yeah. So yeah, and also you've got to remember he's come from the MLS, which is a completely different style of play. Pace. Everything's very, very different in the MLS. So to come here and adapt as quickly as he has, massive credit to him. And I'm really excited to see him play. And it's just more headaches now, Ben. It's more headaches. Who's going to start in that centre midfield? Is it going to be Hürzeler? Is it going to be Gomez? Is it going to be O'Reilly? Is it going to be Weaver? We've got so many options now, which is amazing. And it's a great headache for Hürzeler to have.
I mean, dare I say it? Have we finally got our Caicedo and Alexis McAllister replacement?
Well, people were comparing Gomez to
it's very
McAllister.
Similar. Yeah, no, it seems very similar, and they work so well together. I mean, I'll be happy for them two to be starting week in, week out together, because the amount that Alexis McAllister and Caicedo carried us in that midfield, it was one of the best midfield partnerships in the league at one point, which is incredible to say at Brighton. But if Baleba and Gomez can get up to that levels, then we'll be absolutely fine. And at the moment, it looks like they will be getting there. I think Baleba's probably on course to be probably surpassing Caicedo. I just feel like Baleba offers that little bit more going forward compared to Caicedo. But yeah, Gomez, thank you so much, because that was an unreal performance. And when a player comes from the MLS, there's definitely a lot of stigma for sure. So to see someone from the MLS actually come over and do well, it's a relief for sure. I mean, maybe Duran's the only exception that's come from the MLS and actually turned out to be an absolute baller. Maybe there's a couple others I'm missing, but.
I just think he's going to grow and get better and better. I feel like we're just seeing sort of the guy's 21. He does not look 21, by the way. Like he that meme. It's like 13.
yeah. Someone check his passport.
Someone check his passport. Yeah, he doesn't look 21, but a 21-year-old, coming into the league, like I said, from the MLS, a very different style of play, very different pace of the game. Everything's very different. Even the chants, even all the little intricacies of American football is very different to the British game. So the fact he's adapted so quickly, I think he's going to go on and get better and better. And we've only seen him. It's his first full start today. I know we've seen a few cameos where he's looked really good, but his first full start and against a really tough Bournemouth side, by the way, who I know who are missing a few players, but we saw they were very, very good. There was patches where they were playing really, really good football. So yeah, to come against a very good Bournemouth side and play the way he did, I was very impressed, and I think he's going to go on to do big things. Fingers crossed, and we won't jinx him. He doesn't get injured.
We definitely, and then obviously we go on and score from the penalty, but we definitely deserved that goal. I feel it was coming. It was definitely coming. We had a few decent chances. Do you think it was a penalty? Because Danny Welbz got asked at the end of the game if he thought it was a penalty. He said from the sideline, I thought it was. I can see why it was given. It's just like if that was against me, I'd be like, I'd feel a bit hard done by it. It's very soft.
I think we're fortunate. I'll be honest. I think it was fortunate. However, what I will say is he has been pushed. By the way, he got pushed initially by Hürzeler. I know it wasn't a massive push, but it was still a push. To be fair. And then, I think it was slightly fortunate. I think I would have, if I was a Bournemouth fan, I would be slightly aggrieved with that. I think, I don't want to go as far as saying soft, but at the same time, it's one of those decisions where you can understand why it's been given. Yeah, but if I was a Bournemouth fan,
you do see them giving quite a lot. It's like, if you're looking at it, João Pedro's knocked the ball forward. He's never going to get that ball, but he's gone into the keeper.
This is the argument, isn't it?
The dark arts kind of pushed himself into the goalkeeper as well. He's used that push to make it look like he's been fouled, and then it looks like the keeper's taking him out. But you see that all the time when the player's trying to stretch for the ball, gets that one touch away from the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper gets him, and then it's a penalty. But
I think what's helped us, Ben, is that clear and obvious angle. You know what was the game the other day? Everyone kicked off about the whole clear and obvious. It was the oh my god, I watched too much football.
Oh, was it Ashley Young against United?
That's it. Yep, that's it. Ashley Young against Man United, obviously the pools. And that big argument was, is it clear and obvious for him to overturn? And I think that's the same situation with this one.
Yeah.
And they've gone with it in terms of yes, there's not been enough for us to overturn it. Like, there wasn't a dive from João Pedro as such. Obviously, I think he's exaggerated the fall for sure. But yeah, I think that was the big argument. It's like, it's not an obvious error, so it won't be overturned. So they have to go with the referee's decision. And he gave it in real time, and he has to stick by that. I just think, yeah, overall, I think a little bit soft, but it's been given. And Ben, that's the other thing as well. You mentioned about, is he going to get it? He was never going to get that, was he? Let's be real. So,
no.
Again, if that comes into play, then you could argue it's not a penalty, but I don't know what the referees judge that nowadays because there's so many rule changes. Who knows? So, but yeah, soft, but we got the decision, and yeah, cool, well taken. Geezer doesn't miss
never in
penalties.
doubt. João Pedro fills me with so much confidence from the penalty spot. I was so confident that he was going to be burying that, and he did. Yeah, thank God he did. And it was just a very, very good half from us. I was pretty pleased with how he played. You know, obviously playing Chelsea back to back, who now look like the team that they weren't. In 2020, at the end of 2024, they look like a real powerhouse. But part of me thought, did we play them at a good time? And then you're playing Southampton, absolutely wank, and we spank them 4-0. I still question marks whether we are at a better level or we've just played two teams that are in a bad run at the moment. But then to play a Bournemouth team who've been so good this season, that did fill me a lot of confidence that first half. Were there any other highlights from the first half you thought? I mean, Verbruggen had a couple saves to make. Not much else really had to do in that first half, really.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it was pretty well controlled first half. I know the possessions were split pretty much. I think it was 51% to 49, I believe. So it was very, very tight in terms of possession in that first half. So I felt like both teams had a good amount of the ball, but it feels like we were just clinical from the spot. João Pedro, obviously, we got the penalty. And I felt like the first half, we pretty much looked pretty comfortable. I didn't really feel too threatened by Bournemouth, but I think the second half was a very different story for sure. But
like the link-up play, I mean, it just in the first half of the attacks we have, I love watching João Pedro and Hürzeler and Minter and Matoma. Like that front four is phenomenal, and the fact that we've got
so good
world-class attackers like that, all their attributes are so different, but they just gel so well together. It genuinely is a joy to watch, and especially even Bournemouth players, obviously they link up so well. So that it was just a good match in general. Also, as well, massive shout out to those four you've mentioned in terms of defensive. Like Minter, all game. I think there was one point that tackle he did, the sliding tackle, and he went like that on Clivert right towards the end. Like that just epitomised his performance today. Defensively, unreal. Going forward, him and Matoma.
Yeah,
they loved it. They
Matoma was brilliant defensively. Like even Rutter, you look at Rutter making these backtracking runs. He's in his own box at times when he's meant to be, when he's meant to be up front or, attacking midfield. So all the four going forward, not only were they brilliant going forward, defensively, I thought they were fantastic and contributed massively, just as much as any other player on the pitch towards that win in the end, because we had to proper fight for it. At 2-1 up, they could have easily made it 2-2. I actually predicted 2-2 in the match preview. Thankfully, that didn't come in. But yeah, they could easily made it 2 because they had some chances and they were really pressing us at some parts of the game. But yeah, those front four defensively were fantastic, and massive shout out to them.
Yeah, I mean, would you say that's our best? Would you say that's our best 11 right now? I mean, would you have Veltman over Lamptey? Maybe that's probably the only one. Would you change?
Yeah, but Veltman, Lamptey's been fantastic recently. He's been so good. He's been so good, and also, I'm surprised he's lasted like full 90s pretty much.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on? Especially with our medical staff, Maz.
That's what I mean. It's more the medical stuff rather than him, to be honest. But yeah, it's mad that he's not been the guy to come off, which shows how much Hürzeler trusts him to sort of see the game through and play a full 90s now. I think, what's that, 3 back-to-back full 90s I think he's done now, which is pretty much unheard of for us in the last couple of years.
First time he's done that in a Brighton shirt.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, mate. I think maybe at the beginning of his time he's probably done it. But yeah, no, I'm really happy to see he's hopefully his fitness issues aren't going to be as big of a problem as they used to be. Fingers crossed. I hope he's got over that because he can still be a really, really important member of the team. Seeing him play full 90s, seeing him play really, really well. But to answer your question, Shaw, I know is this our best 11? I think, I've got to put Veltman in there. I think Veltman has to start at right back and then potentially Estepinian. I know he's come back from injury, but he looked very leggy today. He looked very sort of, sometimes he's running in treacle, it felt like. But he, again, when he's fully fit, I think he could be really important, and it'd be great to see him back fully fit. But at the moment, as it stands, I'll probably put Lamptey at left back, have Veltman at right back, Webster and Van Heck centre backs, but Bruggen just in goal. I mean, I'm still not impressed by him. I'll be so real. I know we've won 4 on the bounce now, but he still feels me a bit shaky, especially from set pieces. Yeah. Like even the one, he ended up collecting when Hyson clattered him. Still just, he sort of dropped it, and I was like, come on, mate, it's the 95th minute. Like,
and there was one in the first half as well where it was like a ball into the box, and it looked like he flapped it out, and then it went out for a corner, didn't it? Yeah,
I mean, look, I've been saying it for a couple of months now. I just want him to see, I want to see him being someone competing against him for that number 1 shirt, because I just felt
the person competing against him was a pundit tonight for TNT.
Jason Steele, right? Yeah, insane. But no, look, I'm not shitting on my Bruggen at all, because he has pulled off some fantastic saves. Even tonight, he pulled off some decent saves.
Yeah, the Alex Scott
and he has,
wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a fantastic save. I'm not shitting on him at all. I'm just saying, like, I'd like to see a bit of competition for him. And then going into the midfield, I mean, centre midfield's really up for debate. I think Belaber's the only sort of guaranteed one. And then I'd be happy with like a Hinshelwood or a Gomez, or, pick maybe out of 3 or 2 that I'd be happy with. Ayari even. Ayari's been really good. So even anyone out of those 3, decent. I'd have that alongside Belaber. And then, of course, I think the front 4 picks itself at the moment with Minter, Matoma, Rutter and Pedro. Or Welbeck, sorry. That's another one as well. Welbeck or Pedro. Yeah, it's a lot, mate. I mean, fair play to Hürzeler. A lot of headaches. I wouldn't want to be him.
I do just want to quickly touch on Hürzeler before, I know we're like jumping ahead, but at full time, seemed like he had a run-in with Tommy Elphick. And it's just, I swear, every game he is just having an argument with someone. So I would love to get a seat right by the dugout just to watch or listen to him, because it always looks like he's winding up the opposition. He's always arguing with someone from the opposite dugout. And like, is he the problem? Which he must be at this rate, because
am I the problem?
he must be the problem, because João Pedro is dragging him away from Tommy Elphick at the end, and then eventually they kind of made up.
I saw that, but I felt it didn't feel too like angry. I think it was more in jest. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't know. It looked like they had a little back and forth, and they kind of like shook hands at the end of it.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But
what's Tommy Elphick?
The camera went, exactly. But the camera went straight to him. Maybe someone whispered in his ears like, he's a Brighton legend, so maybe relax on him a little bit.
Maybe.
I swear. I mean, let us know in the comments. But I'm pretty sure I always see Hürzeler, no matter what the game is, giving it to the dugout, giving it to the opposite dugout.
I like it though, Ben.
I love. Yeah, I do love it. I do love it.
I like it.
But he gets in trouble sometimes.
Passion. No,
he loves a card. He loves a card. I think he's been sent off 2 or 3 times already this season, which is
apparently
insane.
In Germany, he was mad for it. Like he had a really bad disciplinary record.
But it's just so strange, because he seems like such a cool, calm, and collected guy. But then as soon as the whistle goes, he's an absolute foul beast.
I like it, Ben. I'll be honest. I think
he's got the dog in him.
Want him to have that. Yeah, he's got that dog in him. I want him to have that competitive edge. I want him to be able to, stand up for his players when he needs to, and stand up for his team when he needs to. Obviously, we don't condone him being a twat or being like overly aggressive towards people for no reason. That's obviously not cool. But if he's being passionate, if it's something that he feels passionate about, if there's a bad call, if someone said something, I'm all for it. As long as he does it, non-physically and just gives it a bit of jit, I don't mind it. It gives me De Zerbi vibes, to be honest, because De Zerbi was a loose cannon as well. So, yeah, I quite like it. To say the least. Yeah.
And obviously going to the second half, Bournemouth then really come into the game. They look like the team that they've been like all season, really, because we've done a decent job at them in the first half. But obviously, defence stayed pretty strong. It only really took a wonder goal from Justin Clive. Moments before that, we were up the other end, and I think there were a couple of touches where we could have just got the ball, and then we would have had a brilliant chance. But the ball gets away, and they break, and I'm thinking, this looks a little bit like trouble. And Justin Clive cuts in and just absolutely whacks it. And it was one of them ones that when he hits it, it's going in. Just the way the trajectory straight away, you think is going in. Reminded me of Enciso's against City at the Amex. Just as soon as it left the foot, it's like, this is goal bound, and you could see that the Bournemouth fans behind the goal, they were like celebrating before it's even going in. But Maz, what an unbelievable goal!
No, it was a special goal, and fair play to Clive. He seems to be popping up with a lot of important goals for Bournemouth this season. I think he's their top goal scorer, I believe, in Premier League. believe
Probably.
he's got to be up there anyway. And it was one of those goals where you got as a opposition fan, you just go, do you know what? Fair fucking play. What can you do with that? It's a fantastic strike. You know, Verbruggen couldn't really do much about it. If you want to be super critical, would you argue that Minter and Lamptey, backed off him too much and gave him the space to have a shot?
Yeah.
If you want to be hypercritical, but that's just me being, hypercritical. I don't think, again, what more can they do? They sort of jockeyed him, let him come inside, and he's just absolutely walloped it.
You're only scoring Welbz from there, so they probably didn't expect him to do that.
No, exactly. And that's, like I said, that's me being hypercritical if I had to pinpoint anything out. But it's one of those goals where you just have to stand up and applaud it, and fair play. Got them back in the game, and they did look dangerous. Like, I think from when they came out in the second half, you could see they were dominating possession.
Yeah.
They were getting on the ball, they were creating chances. Evan Nielsen came on, looked really, really lively. The changes they made were really good. And then I feel like when the game turned back in our favour was when we brought our subs on. And that's when the tide turned a little bit more towards our favour. So, it was interesting, that tactical element of it from Areola versus Hürzeler, because both top managers, and I think Hürzeler came out on top at the end of the day because he made some really good substitutions, and Welbeck obviously paid off, and it was the tide turned. I think Bournemouth were really knocking on the door, even before that Kluivert goal. I think they were looking dangerous. And then that goal, I think, gave him that extra little lift. I think Tavernier coming on at half-time as well, gave him that extra bit of energy. And they look like
he's a very good player as well. He's a player that was in the Championship with him, and he just got better and better every season whilst being in the Premier League. And fair play to him. Have we spoken about being in the right environment brings out the best in a player? Have we spoken about that on this podcast?
No, not
it's
really.
like Justin Kluivert is the perfect example of that. It's like a wonder kid at the beginning, was he at Ajax? Went to Roma, didn't really work out too much. I think he had another club before that. Obviously joins Bournemouth thinking, wow, Justin Kluivert's gone to Bournemouth. Obviously a big name, but probably hasn't lived up to his expectations. But when you've got a manager like Areola and the right team, the right environment, sometimes that brings out the best in a player. And I feel like Justin Kluivert is the perfect example of that. He's managed to unlock
100%.
Justin Kluivert's talent, which is incredible. Like, I feel like if you put Kluivert in a different team, it would not be the same Kluivert, which maybe it's probably quite an obvious thing to say. But
you could argue like the same with Semenyo, Otara.
Yeah.
Otara scored since Evan Nilsson's been out. He's scored 6 in, I think, was it 6 and 8?
6 and 8, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and like obviously Huijsen, Zabani, Kirkes, like all these players are playing. Probably, I don't want to say above their talent levels because I think they're all very talented players. But obviously,
they've signed
like
very
you said,
good young talent.
Yeah, but like you said, Riola's obviously got something out of them that maybe other managers can't, and he's built this team togetherness. Like, I want to give credit to Bournemouth. We don't really usually do that on this podcast, even when we get wins or even when we get losses. We don't usually give credit to the opposition. But I thought Bournemouth, played really, really well tonight, and they were unlucky to get not get a draw. I don't think they deserved to win the game by any stretch, but maybe a draw on the whole of it, maybe. But credit to them. They got a very decent side, a really good manager, and I think they're just going to keep battling. I think they'll get European football. I think they'll get Conference League.
Yeah, they definitely deserve it.
We'll see.
They definitely deserve it. I mean, I was go as far as saying they probably, at this moment in time, definitely deserve European football more than us. But hopefully they can get it and we can get it as well. Because I mean, they're very similar to us. Watching them reminded me of watching us. I know they've probably got far more history than we do. I mean, I might be wrong. Maybe it's just Football League history, but I feel like they do, don't they, Bournemouth? Or are they just more Tim Port? Are they as Tim Port as we are?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah. Well, that's it. I want 2 Tim Port teams to get into Europe. That's what I want.
All right, Rory Jennings, calm down.
No, but I mean it in the best way. Like, I feel like that's the best story out of the Premier League. I mean, the Premier League's been getting a lot of stick this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
About having no stories and it being one of the worst seasons ever. I think it's that is he called Papa Nicholas? No, not Papa.
Papaninkas or something.
Papaninkas, yeah. I mean, the bloke takes like fucking 5 years to say a sentence, but whatever, mate. And he does the cringiest videos. I know he's a nice guy. I'm pretty
he's
sure
an Arsenal fan.
Once. Yeah, he's an Arsenal fan. And yeah, basically, if you don't know what we're talking about, he done the tweet, went pretty viral, saying about how this is the worst season for a long, long time in the Premier League. Liverpool have already won it. The bottom 3 are already going down. The teams that went back up, the divide between the Premier League and the Championship quality is getting bigger and bigger every season, which is true. I do agree with that part. But saying that it's a boring season and writing it off just because your team isn't doing well is pretty unfair. Like, for us, we're still battling for Europe. If you've got Forest battling for Champions League, you've got Bournemouth battling for Champions League. Those are brilliant stories as well.
Mate, just to, first of all, I don't agree with most of the points he's made. Like you said, the disparity between Championship and Premier League football, yes, definitely there's an argument there. But in terms of it being a boring season, I'm just looking at the table now, right? So yeah, cool. You could argue Ipswich, Leicester, Southampton are out of it. However, Ipswich and Leicester are only 5 points away from Wolves. West Ham have got too much of a gap, in my opinion. So the only other team realistically is Wolves. And okay, granted, maybe relegation is not so exciting. Liverpool look like they've tied up the league. Again, granted. However, then you look at Forest down to Fulham, which is in 9th. So we're in 8th. Fulham in 9th. Villa in 10th with 42 points. That's a 5-point gap between 3rd with Forest. So there's so much to play in those Champions League, Europa League, Conference League spots that you can't call it a boring season. You've got Nottingham Forest in 3rd. I mean, that says it all, in my opinion. You've got Man United in 15th. Like, the season has provided enough, moments and enough talking points.
You've got Asensio and Rashford playing for Aston Villa, for fuck's sake. The league's cooking.
No.
That's the levels of league
I don't think it's been a boring season. I agree with you. I think the reason why he's made that statement is because Arsenal are now 2nd, and he's looking at it with his Arsenal lenses on, and he's not seeing the bigger picture about how actually it's been for the teams involved that are battling for Europe. It has been quite exciting. It has been a good, challenging season. Maybe we've had our highs, we've had our lows. Forest was a massive low, but we've had our highs as well. So, yeah, I think it's been a pretty decent season. I think all round it's been a good watch.
Let's get back to the game. Obviously, substitutions, like you mentioned, they paid off. Hürzeler's been questioned quite heavily this season, definitely on his substitutions, about how late he's made them, or lack of subs, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, got him spot on today. Danny Welbeck linking up with Jorginho Rutter. In terms of partnerships up front, Maz, we're talking Dwight York and Andy Cole, Shearer, Les Ferdinand, Bergkamp and Henry, aren't we? Because them two love linking up. I mean, Rutter's assist, he was such a beautiful pass to Danny Welbeck.
No, and again, I think Rutter has been massively, not given enough credit past couple of games. I think arguably for me, I know in the end, João Pedro got man of the match from the pundits.
Which that was strange.
I didn't agree with that at all.
I didn't know really who to give it to be honest. I would
have given it to Rutter personally. I think Rutter was man of the match. I just think he's so heavily underrated at the moment. I feel like he doesn't get his plaudits really. But no, you're right. His assist was fantastic. Welbeck, what a great finish! Like to be able to take that the way he did. And I'm not gonna lie, I was watching it it was like slow motion. I thought I'd done a space cake or something, and I was like, "Am I high?"
Back in Amsterdam.
What is going on, lads? And then he just saw it trickle in. I was like, "Get in there!" It was such a nice, how it just trickled inside of the post because I thought it was gonna hit the post at one point. But no, fantastic finish, great assist from Rutter, and I thought he was fantastic again all day. He's just brilliant. I love him off the pitch, on the pitch. He's just a brilliant bloke. And I love Jorginho Rutter. He is my favourite player and I love him.
And I love him. Yeah, definitely signing of the season. Or for us, obviously, player of the season so far as well. You'd have to say. Tough one to argue that. But Maz, we lost 7-0 against Nottingham Forest. Then we beat Chelsea 2-1, beat Chelsea 3-0, beat Southampton 4-0, and they've beaten an unbelievable Bournemouth team 2-1. After losing that 7-0, imagine telling everyone that who wanted Hürzeler out, and then you see the scenes after Southampton of Hürzeler doing the Olays with the players dragging him there. We thought the dressing room he lost the dressing room, but it looks like that never happened. Really, did it? Which just shows like one result, and we all think the world's ending, and we think our manager just lost the dressing room after one bad result because we're putting a few things together. But I guess that is part of our job on the podcast, is try and tell the stories and understand what's going on behind the scenes. But it just goes to show we have we just know fuck all about what's going on behind the scenes, because we ended up winning 4 on the bounce, beating Chelsea back to back. And how many goals have we scored in the process? 5 against Chelsea, 4 against Southampton, 2. Quick maths. Maths is so bad. 11.
Well, we eradicated in the Chelsea game and the Southampton game, we eradicated our 7-0 loss. Yeah, if that makes sense. We caught up with the goal difference just in those 2 games. So look, when he burnt the team sheet, I think that was it, mate. When that happened, when he burnt the team sheet, it seems like all the bad spirits left the Amex and left the team. And I feel like it's been an incredible journey since that 7-0 loss. It's only 4 games, which is mental to think about. It feels like it was a long, long time ago, but it seems like we have turned a massive corner, and it feels like it's all starting to click. We mentioned the past couple of games. It seems that everything's starting to click, especially for Hürzeler. I think he's starting to now, maybe he knows he's starting 11 potentially, barring injuries. He knows who he wants to play week in, week out. I think he's found that sort of the front four was Minter wasn't really getting a start much. Now he seems to be one of the first names on the team sheet.
Yeah.
You look at the midfield now. Baleba now is pretty much, solid down. And then you've got either Gomez or Ayari or Hinchwood now become one of those partners. And it just feels like everything now slowly is starting to click, and he gets it. He starts to, understand his best team, best 11, and it's all just starting to click. And I think it's a great time to be a Brighton fan.
That's it, though, isn't it?
We've been on a good little run.
He definitely knows the best team now, because we're finally seeing consistency every single game. I mean, we played near enough the same team for the past 4 games since losing 7-0. And
barring a couple of changes.
Yeah, maybe you can point the success down to that, because we've been crying out for that. We've been crying out for some consistency for players to get used to each other, because when you're constantly changing it in and out, I know we've had injuries and things like that, but it's no good. And you can see how beneficial it has been. And we've got that pretty solid starting 11 now that, I mean, I wouldn't change that team too much. Maybe, like we said, 1 or 2 changes every now and then. But, the consistency has massively helped. And, Hürzeler's, maybe, torn up a little bit of what he's learnt in the Bundesliga too, because most of that probably can't really work in the Premier League. I mean, we've spoken about it, having one midfielder doesn't really work in the Premier League for sure. And we haven't seen that since, which is great. And, it looks like we're finally finding our feet, especially with some big games coming up. Obviously, Newcastle win the FA Cup this weekend.
Huge.
If we can get a win there, then mate, that'll be huge. I mean, I'm still so pissed off that we got another Premier League team. It's so annoying when that happens. After that, we got Fulham, who are also battling for Europe with us. Then we've got City away, Villa at home, Palace away. And then we got a fairly decent run of games, but the next 4 games, Maz, are pretty big, and having found form now is so beneficial.
No, 100%. And I think it was so frustrating after that Forest game, because it was like, I don't know if that was ever a 7-0 game, as in, if we hadn't played one centre midfielder, I don't think that ever would have been...
Should have been 7-2. We should have scored a couple goals.
yeah, 7-2. But no, and do you know what, in a weird way, and we sort of discussed this a little bit in the last pod, it's sort of weird, like, I think we sort of needed it. It was sort of one of those results where it's like, it's so bad, it makes you sort of wake up a little bit, and you're like, shit, like Hürzeler, I think, needed that result just to sort of be like, right, wake up, like a little slap to the face, like, come on, wake up. Like on a night out when you've had too much to drink, and your mate's got to like sober you up. It's one of them ones, like, come on, mate, just, slap the life into you. And I feel like that result did that for us. And I think, ever since that Forest game, we've shown in the last 4 games, the real Brighton, so to speak. And long may it continue. Like you said, big game against Newcastle coming up in the FA Cup. That's huge. If we can get a result there, that would be incredible. And I think, mate, it's like, I feel like we'll feel invincible. It's like, who can't we beat? Why can't we go on and get European football? It's a huge game.
I mean, looking at the level of the Conference League at the moment that Chelsea are in, I think Copenhagen are probably the only decent team, and I think that's who they've got actually in the next round. It just makes me think, if we can get Conference League, I know it's a big if, because there's still quite a long way to go. If we can get Conference League, then Maz, maybe I'm looking far too ahead right now, but I mean, we have a chance of winning that competition because of the level of teams that are actually in it. I know that's quite harsh to say about the other teams, but
I don't want to talk about it, to be honest, until we get it. But no, I agree with you. I think Conference League, I'll be over the moon. I said a top 10 finish, and I'm sort of going to stick with that, because I feel like for Hürzeler to get a top 10 finish in his first season in the Premier League with pretty much a brand new squad. I know he spent a lot of money, but pretty much a brand new squad. Get a top 10 finish, keep his players, keep that foundation, keep what he's built, and build on what he's learned in that first season. I genuinely believe next season we can go on to do great things. It's just whether he can keep that nucleus, keep all our top players. I can't see us selling many of our top players, and make maybe a couple of more additions in defence. I'm really excited about next season. I just want us. I know this season's still a long way to go, and I'm not wishing it away. But top 10 finish, give it to me, and we move on to next season and go for Europe next season. I'll be more than happy. But if we get Conference League, I'll take it, mate. Conference League will be amazing. Yeah. And it means that we can utilise our squad as well. Like, because we've got such a big squad now, I worry about who's going to get game time. Whereas if we got on a European competition like that, we can utilise those players and keep sort of squad players happy, if that makes sense. So, I would love Conference League, but I'll say a top 10 finish for now.
I did just see someone's tweet saying, "Is this the way to FC Noah?" Which I thought was quite good. Is this the way to FC Noah? Shamrock Rovers, Shamrock Rovers, Applewell Molder. That would be right. I'll take that, absolutely.
I'll take it.
Hopefully it is. That'll be some pretty fun away days. Someone's saying here, pretty sure that's 8 goals and assists in the last 9 games from Rutter. I know we mentioned him already, but
I told you, mate.
The
governor.
Absolute flames. What a bargain, 40 million. Just give Leeds another 40, fuck it. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, cheers, Leeds.
If Matoma's worth 90 million in Saudi, Rutter's worth 300, I think, if Chelsea want him.
500
if Chelsea want him, yeah. They'll pay it, that's for sure. I mean, and also to make it even sweeter, I think there are protests outside Chelsea, outside Stamford Bridge today.
Yeah, clearly.
Tonight before the game. So that's good. So Chelsea, how you doing? You can steal our staff, steal all our players, but you're still shit, and you're still.
They are fourth, to be fair.
Yeah, they are fourth. That's right. It's because they got Cole Palmer.
It's really annoying though, by the way. How they just randomly popped up in fourth? Like I saw it today. I was like, why have you just randomly popped up back to fourth? I swear they were like 6th or 7th at one point. But yeah,
really? No, that's good. Were they?
They were, mate. Yeah, because mate, look how tight it is. 47. Forest got 47 points in 3rd, and we've got 43 in 8th. So it's only a 4-point gap. Like, imagine one team loses, one team wins. The gap, it just swings around about. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure they were like 5th or 6th at one point because they had 2 losses on the bounce. And then,
we need Tottenham and we need Liverpool to do us some favours on Wednesday night. That'd be good. By the time this is out, hopefully some people might even know the results, and we might still be 8th in the 8th.
Well, I'm going to try to get this out ASAP, Rocky, mate. So.
ASAP. Oh shit, mate. Okay. Anything else to say apart from squeaky bum time at the end? But yeah, I don't know. Not too much. I haven't seen any like the manager's comments or anything like that. But
no. I think
that's the main thing.
No, exactly. And I think sometimes you could argue in certain games we've seen before this season, we've not held out, we've not made the right decisions defensively, some of the substitutions, etc. But I feel like everything went well for us. The substitutions were spot on. Defensively, we were really sound. Webster and Van Heck, kept it solid at the back with Lamptey and Estepinian and all the boys that came on, Hinshelwood, Weaver, they all kept it really solid defensively. I think we ended up being like 6 at the back at one point. So yeah, I'm just glad we saw it out. I'm so glad there was no cock-ups, there was no last-minute mistakes, there was no silly errors leading to goals. Just the fact that we saw it out, got the win. That was the key point. That was the key thing. Just get the win in front of our own fans. It was a great result, great performance. Really, really happy. And now, big game against Newcastle in the cup.
And if we do end up going on God forbid, we're going on a little losing streak again, let's just lose 7-0, and then it will give us to kick up the arse again, and we'll be back to our best.
No, let's not do that for goal difference purposes.
That's true. Okay,
yeah. But no, that's the thing. I think we need to, there's a bit of a, what's it called? What's the word? We need to have a bit of foresight. If we do lose, if we do go out the FA Cup, if we do have another bad, if we have a loss in the Premier League, we can't just all start, wetting the bed again and going, oh my God, Hürzeler out. Rah, this is awful. Like, you've got to, everyone relax, mate. We've got 4 wins on the bounce now. Long may it continue. But if it doesn't continue, let's be happy. Like I said, top 10.
Thank God we didn't wet the bed. Because you imagine if we were saying Hürzeler out in this podcast and now we're saying Hürzeler in.
We're visionaries, mate. We're visionaries. Wait, big ball knowledge. By the way, talking of ball knowledge, if you've not seen my ball knowledge, I did a Brighton quiz for the Premier League, and serious 49 out of 50. I didn't get Jason fucking Malumbi. Jason Malumbi,
Maz, I'm sorry. I know. Do you know why it looks good? Is because all the Premier League fans watching it had no idea who the Brighton players were. But as a Brighton fan, it would be wrong to not know any of them. And I would have got 50 out of 50. I swear on my life. Obviously,
you would have got Jason Malumbi.
100%. Yeah, I would have got Jason Malumbi. Yeah, I swear on my mother's life.
As a Brighton fan, you should be getting 49 or 50.
You should be getting your own players. I thought there was a weird quiz to just do Brighton players. It's like,
no, I agree.
It's like asking me to name the members of my family. It's like I know what my nan looks like. Do you know what I mean?
But it's the thing, though. If you're not a true fan, you will get a few wrong.
We'll get caught out.
So
actually, speaking of quizzes. Yeah. Speaking of quizzes, me and Maz are going to be doing the TalkSport Cup
you actually kill us because if we don't do well, this is
anyway.
Yeah, no, enough of that. We're not doing any quizzes. I don't know what he's talking about.
So if you've got any random Brighton trivia, Let us know in the comments some random Brighton facts that we can learn, because they might throw some random stuff. Or you know what we need to do, Maz? We need to bring some AirPods. We'll have Jack Albion in our ear whilst he's at work on his desk. Hopefully he can let us know what's going on.
It's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when they cough 3 times.
Cough 3 times if it's Tarek Lamptey.
But yeah, I don't know what Ben's talking about. He's lying. We don't have any quiz going on.
If you see the quiz, it's because we've done well. But if you don't hear from us, it was a write-off. We went out in the first round.
Pretty much.
But yeah, and also shout out Maz. Obviously, we went to the Chelsea game, film of Copper Night in the Premier League, and Seagulls Social Instagram collabed with the fucking Premier League account.
Yeah, that's insane.
That was honestly a tear. I'm not even joking. A tear game in my eye. I thought that was so surreal to see, and what a moment for the podcast, Maz.
I said it.
The time they're doing that's incredible.
Ben, 100%, man. Like, we've been doing this for a long time now. What, 4 years? 4 or 5 years? Potentially longer. Yeah, 5 years probably. Which is crazy. Like the amount of time.
5 years in September, I think.
Yeah, that's it. And I feel like I always said this to you boys off camera. Back in the early days, I said I believe in Seagulls Social. We can be like the biggest podcast. We can be, be that flagship for the Brighton scene. And to be recognised by Premier League, like, is insane. And also, like, some of the stuff we've done along the way. Some amazing collabs we've done, both myself and you included. It's been an incredible journey. And also, we couldn't have done it with everyone that's tuning in. Like, you guys, you got us nominations for the FCA awards. You've been able to get us in a position where we can collab with the Premier League. So massive shout out to everyone watching, listening. Like, honestly, like Ben said, I get emotional sometimes talking about it, because it does mean a lot. It does mean a lot. Like, we just do this for fun. We do this for I'm editing in my own spare time because I want to, and I enjoy it. And likewise, Ben slogged away for years and years doing all the edits, and it's like we put in a lot of work and a lot of hard graft into this podcast, and we genuinely do it for you guys, and we hope you enjoy it, and we'll try and carry on doing it as much as we can, and we do it for the love of the club and the love of the fans, i.e. So big shout out to everyone listening around the world.
Definitely echo that part as well. Like, and obviously times when we've had tough issues on this podcast, like thinking, at the beginning of the season, it's like, how many can we do this season? Do we carry it on? But it does feel like we owe it to the Brighton fans, because I've lost podcasts where people have like just completely stopped podcasts. I used to listen to one called I forgot TMG, Tiny Meat Gang. Cody Co got cancelled, and then my favourite podcast that I listen to every week just went. So I couldn't imagine. I wouldn't want anyone else to go through that, and that's assuming that this is people's favourite podcast as well. But we deliver 1 or 2 episodes a week, and hopefully it brightens up people's day when they see that an episode's uploaded. And also shout out Maz recently, because behind the scenes he's been working his arse off. Shout out, Maz. Thank you, man.
No, it works both ways. Ben's grafted his bollocks off in the past. Not to say he doesn't anymore, but no, he's put a lot of hard sweat, tears, and dedication into podcasts. We both do. So and also big shout out to Jack as well for jumping in when Ben's not available, because obviously Ben's now much busier with work. When Ben can't do it, Jack jumps in. So no, honestly, it's been a massive team effort. Big shout out to everyone involved, and a massive shout out to everyone watching and listening. Honestly, don't know how we've got to this part. I don't know why we're having this emotional little thing, but I like it, and it means a lot. And hopefully we can go from strength to strength and keep providing content for everyone, like Ben said.
Yeah.
So
cool. That's pretty much it from me.
What a lovely way to end the podcast.
Well, wholesome way to end. And roll on Newcastle. We should probably do a preview at some point.
We will. Whether it's with you or without you, Ben, we will.
That's another question.
It's on Saturday, right? Yeah, we'll sort it out.
No, Sunday, Newcastle. So.
Sunday. Gives us an extra day. Lovely. Yeah. Amazing.
I think I'm going to go. I'm back in Brighton this weekend, actually. So if you're in Unity on London Road, I'll probably be watching it there. So come and say hello.
Bash.
One person's going to come up, and it'll be my brother.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and give us a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify. Peace.